Next up, at UFC Mexico, we have Luis Rodríguez taking on Dennis Bondar. Luis Rodríguez is 16-2 overall, 5-0 in his last 5. He is making his UFC debut. He's taking on Dennis Bondar, 19-4 overall, 3-2 in his last 5. He is coming off the decision loss to Carlos Hernandez. Luis Rodríguez is a patient. All right, slow it down, Ange.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on here, but I'm concerned.
I think I have a cold, and I'm getting...
Jesus Christ. I mean, you try to trash me for being sick. You got mold in your house.
You say that? First of all, no.
Dude, there's at least one person sick
The girls are in school. That's what happens to kids. They get sick all the time.
I was sick once a year.
You didn't interact with other people. You didn't play with friends. You didn't do anything.
Oh, I was the fucking man.
Yeah, no, I can tell.
I was the fucking man.
No, yeah, people are just drawn to you. Luis Rodríguez is a patient striker. He's got some pretty good power. He likes to plot forward, find his spots before laying it out and hunting for a finish. He's got no problem just eating leg kicks so that he can counter with big hooks. He is dialed in. He is laser focused when he's on the feet. He's got a good enough chin to hang, but he can be hit because he keeps his hands here. They're shoulder height. They're not where they should be, but they're not insanely low. He keeps them here. It's sort of a weird spot, but he does get hit because of that. He's got decent takedowns, decent BJJ if it gets there, but it only gets there when other people take it there. He's taking on Dennis Bondar. What is so funny?
The comment sometimes. Somebody said, Jacob, I fucking love cigarettes.
He's taking on Dennis Bondar. This guy is wild. He comes charging forward, winging punches in all directions, and then drops your legs, picks you up, and then he will run you across the cage like Marab just did with Cejudo, and then dump you down. His takedowns and slams are very impressive. On the ground, he does have some submissions, but they're basics. They're good, but they're basics. Head and arm bars, just normal basic stuff, not wild scramble fancy things. He is coming off that loss to Carlos Hernandez where they bashed heads in the 3rd round, so they had to stop the action and go to the scorecards. Listen, somebody yelled at me in the comments for saying this, but you're going to see that Bondar has a TKO loss on his record. That was sort of a freak injury loss. And somebody in the comments everybody says a freak injury. He was in trouble, he refused to submit, and that's what happened. I would still call that a freak injury. It's not like it was a deep armbar that wasn't going anywhere and then it snapped. It wasn't Tim Sylvia and Frank Mir. And if you haven't been watching UFC as long as I have, go watch it. It's crazy. It was more of he could have worked through it. He could have gotten out of that situation and things took a weird turn. So I do consider it a freak injury. I don't hold that against him and say, oh, he lost to Gordon. This guy sucks. I do think Bondar wins this fight. I didn't realize that he opened as such a tremendous favorite and the line basically collapsed down to an even fight. But I do think Bondar can win because Luis Rodríguez is by far the much better striker, the more dangerous striker. But I think Bondar can work his way in, avoid any chest level power, and then get this fight to the ground. And if he gets it to the ground, if he ducks under one of those counter hooks, then he could have a ton of success. This is a really hard fight to pick because Luis is far more dangerous. Dennis does have a clear path with the wrestling, but I'm not going to go a UFC debut that needs to keep it on his feet. I'm going to go with the UFC guy that can get it to the ground. So Dennis Bondar is going to be the low confidence pick here.
Yeah, I would say this is another one of those situations where I think that Bondar is the better fighter, right? And typically I say you got to go with the better fighter, but he is the better fighter. The issue is he thinks he is a much better fighter. And you saw that in his fight with Carlos, his last fight. I mean, it took him forever to even try to wrestle where that was supposed to be what he does. I mean, he was sitting in there boxing, and I'll be honest, the boxing looked clean, right? But the boxing is clean against a guy like Carlos, who isn't really a powerful guy. And Carlos was landing some shots on Dennis that if Luis Rodríguez lands those shots, it's probably going to be bad news. So I'm saying that Dennis Bondar is the better fighter. And if you bet it, I get it because he is the better fighter. He's got, I think, a couple paths to victory, right? He can kind of grind it out, or he might be able to still win the boxing exchanges. But the way that he fights and his overconfidence in his abilities, I think is going to give him trouble against a guy like Luis, because Luis, if you want to point fight him, I think you can. He's very low volume. He kind of doesn't do a lot during fights. But if you pressure him, he's more than happy to counter. And I think that Dennis is going to pressure him. be looking good, and this could be one of those like Trevin situations again, where looks good, is winning the fight, and there's that one shot where it's like, uh-oh. And I think Luis might find that shot. So I'm going to Luis here, but it's not like a dog that I love. I think the odds are pretty spot on.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I think the odds are spot on. The current odds. The opening odds were not,
Right.
which is why they immediately collapsed. So I hear, and when I say, here's a little glossary. When I say he's a patient striker, that means low volume. He's very low volume, and that's what Luis Rodríguez is.
Wait. And I do worry, too, if Dennis is shooting, that Luis is going to do let me just guillotine and then end up on his back and then find himself...
Hang out,
find himself underneath a guy that really does know what he's doing on the ground, so... But
no, Dennis is the pick. And, hey, maybe this line will continue to collapse and it'll full-blown flip. But for now, Dennis is the pick. And these are probably decent odds considering he does have an insanely clear path to victory here. But... I probably will spend the $8,200 in DraftKings. I think there's a ton of value there with the takedowns, the control time, because he will actively work. He'll pick you up, he'll slam you, and I don't think he's going to fall victim to the elevation cardio stuff. We haven't really seen him have cardio issues in the past. You like him at $8,200 in DK?
Yeah, if this is if Dennis Bondar, the actual Dennis Bondar shows up, honestly, he probably should smoke Rodríguez, and that value is going to look really good. But if he shows up, he starts fucking around. Because even in his corner after the first round, was like, dude, stop fucking around, dude. Like, fucking let's focus up. So it just depends on what Dennis shows up. But at 82, you're probably willing to risk that,
Yeah. No, I agree. And because even if things don't go his way, he will still be in there he is a tough guy. You're not just going to knock him out with your first two punches and it'll take Luis
to slam him on the back of his head.
Exactly. So we're both on the same side. Do we agree on all the fights? Have you checked? I didn't check.
I doubt that.
We agreed on the first. We agreed on the first couple. But if you do want to check out all the bets we have so far and all the bets we'll have for the rest of the week, it's only $10 a month. And as you know, there's an event every single weekend for the foreseeable future. So that $10 gets you 4 events worth of picks, bets, round line leans, tools, and more. Oh, and it's an excellent way just to support us and the channel. WeWantPicks.com. Click become a member.
We have 5
at
different.
The top.
We have 5 different. So
and somebody said we didn't agree on Felipe.
We didn't agree on this one either, dipshit. You fucking idiot. I have Luis. You have Dennis.
I thought you said you picked Dennis.
What a fucking idiot, dude.
I'm the idiot? You just spent 3 minutes saying you got to bet the better fighter sometimes. Then you started this off with Dennis is the better fighter. And then you didn't pick him? You fucking muppet.
I gave great reasoning why.
I said I was going to try to be nicer and soften up. And then you come out here looking stupid as hell with that dumb hat from that loser that scoots his butt across the mat. And you're getting me wound up.
I thought that Carlos Vera won that fight. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
I thought he did enough on the ground.
He certainly won a bunch of fans.
And
huge fan base now. Yeah, people love that guy now.
Wait till you see Claudio today.
What a warrior. What a warrior that guy was.
Wait till we get that Claudio fight. I'm excited.
I'm
excited about it.
What a bunch of nerds those guys are. Before you go, let me give you $50. Anybody who goes to WeWantPicks.com/bets and signs up with any one of our affiliate partners gets $50 as a thank you. Use the link, sign up, make a deposit. We send you $50 as a thank you.